everyone and welcome to our channel AKU Explanation. This is a part 7 of Matter in Our Surroundings. I hope that before starting with this part, you must have watched part 1 to 6. So let us begin with our part 7. In this part, I am going to start with how does evaporation causes cooling. In my last part, I told you what are the factors which affect the rate of evaporation and what is actually evaporation. Now in this part, you know that when evaporation happens, cooling occurs. But why? Why cooling occurs? So this is the thing which we are going to focus in this part. So let us begin. Just suppose that we have a vessel here. This is a vessel and this vessel contains some water, and this is an open vessel. That means it does not contains any lid or something like that. It is open. We have water here. Now evaporation will happen. You know that evaporation happens at any temperature. Evaporation does not require any fixed temperature, so it can occur at any temperature, any given temperature. Since evaporation will happen, so vapors will be produced. So you see here vapors are there. These are vapors. Okay, and when evaporation will occur, the energy will be lost by the particles of the water. The particles which are present in the water, they are going to lose energy in the surrounding. The particles of liquid absorb energy from the surrounding to regain the energy lost during evaporation. So here in this process, when evaporation will take place, energy will be lost. But you know that energy is always conserved. That means initial energy should be equal to the final energy. So since during the process of evaporation energy was lost, so now the particles will try to gain energy from some other place. So what they will do? They will absorb the energy from the surrounding. This is your surrounding. So the particles now are going to gain energy. And when they will gain energy from the surrounding, so what they are gaining energy. So here energy basically means what? Heat. So they are taking the heat from the surrounding, so the surrounding will become what? Cool. So this is how evaporation is causing cooling to the surrounding place. Yes, so see here it is written. This is the paragraph of NCERT. This is the paragraph in it, and it is very important. Many a times give reason questions comes from this paragraph. That is why I have written here that they ask that how can you say that evaporation causes cooling. So you need to write these 4 to 5 lines. So it is written, in an open vessel the liquid keeps on evaporating. Yes, I told you that evaporation takes place at any temperature. The particles of liquid absorb energy from the surrounding. The particles are going to absorb the energy from the surrounding to regain the energy lost during evaporation. Why they are going to absorb the energy from the surrounding? Because during the process of evaporation, the energy is lost. So now they are going to gain the energy from the surrounding. This absorption of energy from the surroundings makes the surrounding cold. So we got how evaporation causes cooling. Okay friends, let's see one example of how evaporation causes cooling. So do you know what is acetone? You must have not heard the word acetone, but obviously you must have heard the word nail polish remover. Yes, that is a liquid kind of a thing. When we apply nail polish and when we want to remove it, so we just pour that liquid thing on our nails. So eventually the the nail polish gets removed. So that is a acetone, and it is a very good example of how evaporation causes cooling. So let us see how. Okay, if you have acetone or nail polish remover at your home, you just put some nail polish remover on your palm. Just put some acetone, and you will observe that acetone vaporizes very fast, like that is very volatile. Volatile means it forms its vapor very fast, forms vapors very fast. Why? Because the temperature of our palm is higher than the boiling point of acetone. Boiling point of acetone, just suppose that the boiling point of acetone is x degree Celsius, but the temperature of our palm or our body temperature is greater than x degree Celsius. Okay, it is greater than x degree Celsius. So when you are going to put acetone on your palm, since the temperature of our palm is greater than the boiling point of acetone, so as soon as you put acetone on your palm, it will evaporate and it will form vapor. But do you observe that when this acetone evaporates on your palm, you feel a cooling sensation? Yes, you feel a cooling sensation. So why it is happening? Because the particles of acetone, they are undergoing evaporation, because the temperature of your palm is higher than the boiling point of acetone. So when these particles will undergo evaporation, so their energy will be lost. Energy lost during evaporation. Now what they will do? To regain the energy lost during evaporation, they will gain the energy from your palm. From your palm, they are going to gain the energy in the form of heat. So they are going to gain the energy in the form of heat. So when they will gain the energy from your palm's temperature will go down. So if your palm's temperature will go down, what are you going to feel? You are going to feel the cooling sensation. So this is a very great example of how evaporation causes cooling. I hope you understand how this is going on. I'll just explain this once again in just a few minutes. So acetone on your palm, the temperature of a palm is higher than the boiling point of acetone. So evaporation will take place with acetone. Acetone is going to form vapors, and when evaporation will take place, energy will be lost by the particles of the acetone. When energy will be lost, so the particles will want to gain the energy, because due to the conservation of energy, because they want to conserve their energy. So to conserve this energy, they are going to regain the energy from your palm in the form of heat. So heat will be lost from the palm, and eventually temperature will go down on your palm. That will cause a cooling sensation. So students, I hope that you all are understanding whatever I'm trying to explain you. And if you think that you are getting everything, so please like our channel and subscribe to, and share it to your friends, so that they could also like, and we could post lots and lots of videos that could help you a lot. Now moving to the next part. In your NCERT book, you must have seen a question written there: why should we wear cotton clothes in summer? You must have heard from your mother a lot of time that cotton clothes are very comfortable. Yes, they're very comfortable. They make you feel cool during summer season. Yes, so what is the reason behind it? I'll tell you now. You know that during summer you sweat a lot. Your body perspire means sweating. It secretes some salty material from your body that we generally called as sweat. So we perspire, and a lot of water comes out of our body. So when water comes out of our body, the particles of water, they gain the energy and they start evaporating, and when they evaporate, vapors will be formed. But when suppose this is your body, okay, just suppose that this is, I'm not drawing a very like good drawing. Yes, it might look like a cockroach, but no, it's not a cockroach, it's your body. Okay, so this is your body, and just suppose that you are perspiring and you are producing a lot of sweating. Okay, now when you produce sweat, so they will come to your body and evaporation will take place. But when you wear clothes, what happens? When you wear, suppose this boy is wearing a t-shirt, So when you are wearing a t-shirt, the contact between the water which you are perspiring and the surrounding, this cloth acts as a barrier, due to which evaporation, the evaporation slows down. Yes, but when you wear a cotton cloth, what does cotton does? It absorbs all the water which is present in your body very fast. Okay, it is going to absorb the sweat. It absorbs the sweats, and just eventually it exposes the water from your body to the surrounding, and the evaporation process again starts very fast. But just suppose that you are not wearing a cotton cloth but some other clothes like nylon, you see. Okay, but when you wear nylon, no, so what happens, the nylon, it is a very bad absorber, so it absorbs very less of amount of the sweat, so it is not going to absorb sweat, and it will act as a very good barrier between the surrounding and your body, so evaporation will go down. But cotton, it increases the process of evaporation. Why? Because it exposes the sweat by absorbing it from your body to the surrounding. So now you understood why we should wear cotton clothes in summer. And one more question is given in your NCERT book, that we see droplets on the outer surface of glass containing ice cold water. Just suppose that you have a glass here and you have some ice here. Yes, ice in this glass. You will observe that after some time, water droplets, they come on the surface of the glass tumbler. So why it is happening? So basically a very simple like reply to this question would be due to condensation. Due to condensation. Now how condensation is taking place, just see here. Since you put ice here, so the surface of the glass, the temperature will be low. Since ice is there, so it will cause the decrease in temperature of the glass tumbler. Now since the temperature is low here and the outside temperature is higher as compared to the temperature of the surface of the glass tumbler, so the gas or the vapors which are present in the surrounding, when they come in contact with this surface of the glass, condensation takes place. We know that when condensation takes place, when gas, we cause cooling here, then gas forms liquid. So this is the process which is called condensation. So gas is here, cooling is also here, and when gas comes in contact with this cooling surface, it gets converted to liquid droplets. So these liquid droplets are not of this ice. They are not of the ice. These droplets are those water vapors which are present in the surrounding, which when comes in contact with this cooled surface of the glass tumbler, goes into the process of condensation and forms liquid droplets. Okay, now moving ahead, below on your NCERT page number 10, you have seen a yellow box where you when you will read, you find that it is written that there are 5 states of matter. Till now, how many states we learned? Only 3. That was solid, liquid and gas. But now there are 2 more states of matter, that is plasma. 5th is your Bose-Einstein condensate. Now let us see what are these. This is a very small topic and it is newly added in NCERT. So let us see what is it. So plasma, it is a super energetic and super excited particles. Energetic and super excited particles. And plasma, it is an ionized gas. It is an ionized gas where you will find these gas in neon sign bulb. In neon sign bulb, there is what? There is neon gas. Also in fluorescent tube, there is helium gas. So when these gas, this helium gas and neon gas, they get ionized, they form what? Plasma. The stars and the plasma, when this form plasma now, so they are very bright in color. So the stars and suns, they also have this plasma, due to which they glow so much. They also have plasma. And next we have this Bose-Einstein condensate. So let us see what is it. So in 1922, Satyendra Nath Bose had done some calculations, and after that they found this Bose-Einstein condensate, where many other scientists like Eric A. Cornell, Wolfgang, all these names are given in your NCERT. So they worked together and they found this Bose-Einstein condensate. And what is it? When a gas is cooled whose density is very very low as compared to the normal air which is present, the density of this gas is 1 by 100,000. This much, the density is so much low. So when this gas is cooled at a very low temperature, what we get? We get this Bose-Einstein condensate, which is the fifth state of matter. So this is the end of this part. Please like our video and subscribe too. Let's meet in the next video.